Okay, family. They already shut me down. Check on in. We've already been shut down. They shut down the other video. Check on in. Wow. I'll let you guys check back on in. That was real quick. That whatever I said, I don't even know what I said, but they got us. So check back on in. They shut us down. Check back on in. That's crazy. We didn't even go that far. I didn't even make it through most of the prepping video. Check on in. Wow. Shut it down. Can't stop, won't stop. Yo, they coming in. Woo woo. Check on in. Whatever. Okay. No, I'm good for now. Thank you. Put a like on the video. Wow. They up for the shenanigans today, y'all. Prepper 2020. What? You get me hyped up. I'm a Sagittarius 2020. Check on in. What's good? Put a like on the video as you step in the door. When you martyr someone, you make everything they share more valid. Check on in. Preppers in the house. Big up to all the preppers in the house who've been prepping for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It's our time. We're going to come through this beautiful and scathe-free. Recap. All right, family. We know what they're up to today, family. You know how we get down. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, my God. Someone just played Earth Angel. Oh, thank you so much. Someone just played Earth Angel, and I'm thinking they're talking about me. That's really sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Earth Angel just popped in there. I was like, wait a second. Earth Angel. Earth Angel. Earth, remember that? Earth Angel. Anyway, so let me say this. Can't stop, won't stop. We're back. They can do what they want. We on here. I'm going to go recap real quick. We're going to go real quickly through so that if it shuts down again, you'll be prepared. I have a lot of things to go through. So family, I won't be able to go and talk to you too much because I got to make sure that I get everything out. Okay. Camu. We talked about it. Heightened in vitamin C. Make sure cop that. Get it. Suncorella knocks it all out the box. Knock it out the box, Rick. Knock it out. Suncorella, get it, cop it, get it. Electrolytes, must have, staple in your house. Get it, do it, want it. What else? Where's the other thing? I had the other thingy. What was the other thing I had here? Oh, the Herba Ursa. We have other herbs. Get it. Put it down, write it down. Please, somebody put it in, write these in so that people have them. Kava root. I'm going to go over everything. Kava root. Astragalus, good for colds. Astragalus is wonderful for getting things out your chest. Astragalus, whenever you get the first shot, these are wonderful things. First shot, okay? Astragalus. Make sure when you get somebody, can we have somebody on here putting these things in and say what it's for so that I can go quickly through everything because I got to make sure we get through this. Because if I go through explaining everything, it's going to be a problem, okay? I talked about the importance of making sure. Oh, you okay, Cookie? Well, woman? Okay. Can you pass me this, baby? Pass me. You dropped something. I don't know what that is. What's that? Okay. Right here. Pass me the toilet paper here. That toilet paper and the face filters. The face filters. Okay. Okay. Yes. Oh, the Adopolis. Hold on. Adopolis for the babies. You should get it for yourself. Make sure making sure you have this to make sure your tummy is a good, healthy staple in your body. Okay. Um, uh, vitamin D. Vitamin D. Okay. Thank you. How's that? No, I don't need the mask. Okay. If you're gonna do toilet paper and you're gonna obsess with it, please make sure you get bleach-free toilet paper, okay? You should have enough bamboo toilet paper to last you. You shouldn't be pooping all over yourself and having diarrhea as long as you're healthy. So obsessing with that is also taking into consideration that you're gonna have that issue, okay? I use this bamboo. I love this one. This is my favorite. I've used this for a year. Nature's Way. Nature's Way is the same thing with the pads, okay? So when you saw the pads that I had, what is it? Okay, Nature's Care for pads for women, okay, bleach free, everything, okay. Another staple to have in case you have yourself get sick, anything that you have, you should always have charcoal. Charcoal is wonderful. You should have. I have activated bamboo. I have a sensitivity to coconut. Activated bamboo charcoal is the bomb.com. If you have any stomach issues, you might have taken in too much metals. If you feel like you're hampered with something, as long as you don't do too much of this, you should put 1 teaspoon in an 8-ounce cup of water. This will absorb any sort of chemicals in the tummy of your baby. Has swallowed something underneath the sink. Quickly give this in their bottle or in their mouths. Get this because it will absorb any chemicals. This is wonderful to have. Make sure you aren't doing this daily because it can mess with the flora in your stomach. You want to keep a healthy flora, but having this is a necessity in prepper mode. You should have this as a staple in your house when you are preparing, okay? This is activated charcoal. This is the bamboo. I only use the bamboo because I have a sensitivity to charcoal that is, okay. Many people are talking about the masks. They're telling you not to get masks. If you listen to Willy Wonka and his League of Doom, you're going to have issues, okay? So I know people use shungite. If you like using shungite, I'm not a shungite fan. I don't utilize it. One of the things you won't see me use is because I know that sunk G is also impeding people electronically, and that is what's causing the T virus. This is my opinion. So I won't use anything that's metal based. Me personally, I'm highly against using silver. Silver, any sort of silver, nano gold, nano copper, I won't use at this time because I know that there is electromagnetic energy, low ELF waves that are actually interfacing with the chemicals and the metals in you, causing for a lot of these issues. At a time, remember when I did my last fast, I told you I won't be messing with metals. I cook with glass, clay, and other things that are natural items that aren't leaching any metals. One of the things I mess with no colloidals. Now, if you use it, you feel confident. For some reason, I'm really anti silver. Now, people use it in staples. You do as you do. I've seen too much and too many of the Willy Wonka people recommending silver. Whenever they recommend things, I already look them sideways because I already knew that the metals, especially when I do the last fast, a lot of the metals are messing. Even when I walk around with my silver necklaces I wear, I was getting zapped from the silver on me. So I take all metals off of me. And during my fast, I probably won't be wearing any metals as any longer like I did last fast. So that is my opinion. People have many recommendations using silver, but for some reason, colloidal silver is coming up in all kinds of intel as being an issue when it comes to the electromagnetic low ELF waves that are coming with the Sank G. So just be mindful. That's my opinion. And I always tell you my opinion, but you vet it out yourself, okay? These are the masks that they're telling people not to wear. I had ordered, you already know I have the other masks, but I have these. These are the carbon filter masks. You should have them stocked up. If you listen to Willy Wonka, you're going to have Willy Wonka issues too, okay? So I had gotten 50 of these. I already had my own carbon mask, but these were nice to do. And what you do is once you use the carbon, we know how to make our own. You burn wood, you refill it with new fresh charcoal, and you can re-sew it up at the end, and you can reuse it again. This is what I would do if you running out. Be resourceful, okay? Because it's really not the T virus that's getting people, it's the 5G, okay? And the metals. That's my opinion, okay? So that's something to have in the house, as if you're gonna go out, make sure you have one of these on, okay? So these are for the people, the people who are big into silver. You have your nano silver and things like that. Now, as far as using silver to clean things, I'm okay with that. Silver will kill a lot of, it's antimicrobial and so on. So to kill things on surface, I'd be okay to use that, but I don't use any silver during this time. I won't be using any silver, but I do keep it in my bug out just in case, okay? So as much as I may be non-usage of it, I know it's important and I know it does well, okay? Antifungal lotions, you should have, these are staples to have in your emergency kit bags. These are additives. So when you have your first aid kit, you should have certain things in your first aid kit, like the mask. You should have antifungal creams for your little ones, because whenever you have electromagnetic low ELF waves pumping, it causes all kinds of fungal issues, okay? So a lot of your funguses will go bonkers and may replicate quicker. So having things that are antifungal will help. Don't use too much of this, only use as needed. Because when you use too much of something, as you know, you will mute it, and then you won't be able to use it at all, okay? One other thing is olive leaf nasal spray. Nasal spray is good to clear out your nose. Olive leaf is wonderful. It's an antimicrobial. It's wonderful. So have an olive leaf nasal spray in these kits. These are your kits to have in your first aid. These are just additives to have in your first aid. Hydrogen peroxide. I love that someone just said that. You know that I ordered the #1 thing. This is a concentrated of 12% food grade hydrogen peroxide. I ordered this a while ago. Remember, I told you guys to get this as a staple. Many of you who are my prepper videos on Patreon already know this, but this is the #1 thing you should have. This is 12%. This is a high grade of food grade. It's very strong. You have to dilute this in water. This can last you up to 2 years if you utilize it properly. It can clean funguses. It can clear out bacteria in your water. It's a wonderful cleanser. It's good for clearing out your nasal passages after walking outside. So this is the bomb.com. You should have this in your first aid kit, and you should have a little one that you have that you use as a staple. Okay, so make sure this is I love this one. It's strong, it's powerful, okay? 35%, that's fine. But this is food grade. This is certified food grade. Food grade is different than the ones that you use over the counter, okay? Okay, again, we talk about feminine health. A lot of times when women get stressed out, they get yeast infections. The reason why you get yeast infections is because as your immune system gets compromised, a lot of women get yeastal issues. #1 thing that you have to, it's good for urine, yeast. This is good to have. If you have any females in the house, grandmother and so on, a lot of people forget that your grandmother, even though she's older and she may not get her menses anymore, she's more susceptible to getting yeast infections or urinary tract infections when she's stressed. This is also good for you have grandmothers or elderly people that you're taking care of to put it in their water or their juice, okay? This helps to keep healthy yeast and keep yeast at bay. Okay, yeast will overwhelm your system, and it'll also make you more susceptible to other kind of health issues, okay? We already talked about this oregano. This is the #1 thing. This is another #1 thing. This is the bomb.com oregano. It is my everything for everything. Many of you know when my mother caught Legionnaires, which is another fungal, had a lot of spores. Remember, Lynn told me to put this on her feet in the hospital along with black seed oil. So this is the #1 reason I was able to kill spores on my mother when she was in the hospital for over a year, for spore issues that came with Legionnaires, which is basically almost like a T virus. So this is what I did, the blackstrap molasses. I always do the black seed 100% cold pressed. I only get oils that are cold pressed, meaning it doesn't, tamper with the process. Too much over processing changes the biochemistry of any oil. So what definitely you should always have in your house is black seed oil, raw. And I can tell you, as someone who used it and who saved my mother's life, it was this, an oil of oregano, the wild crafted, pure version. This is the stuff they lock up. You should have this in your arsenal. If your little one is getting a fever or having anything like that, what helped me with my mother, a combination of the two, rubbing on her legs and her feet because she couldn't take it internally, this is what saved her life. These very two things, along with castor oil, okay? So this is one of the things that you should definitely have. Make sure you have it. Oil of oregano is thebomb.com. The little ones you can do pill form. I showed you on my Instagram, but this is definitely something you should have, okay? And this is the best one. This is the one that I trust and I utilize myself, along with, organic castor oil, hexane-free. This is wonderful. So if you have little ones that are constipated, you're in a situation where you're in the house, you're quarantined, they won't go to the bathroom. You don't have to, back in the days, many of your grannies used to give you castor oil and make you drink it. You could put this on your tummy and rub it clockwise on their tummies, and it will make them go to the bathroom. Same with an adult. When you have women who are constipated and taking a lot of iron, especially when you're pregnant, you don't want to take anything internally. You put this on your tummy and it will help to clear you out. Also, if you're having circulation issues along with a lot of overexposure to radiation, this is one thing that will help is putting castor oil. It will open and expand your vessels. You put this on your shoulders, your arms, your legs, and anybody's having any, yes, you could have that. If anyone's having any issues with thyroidism, or you thinking that you're starting the stages by having these little goiters, put this on your neck, rub it around, massage it with a little bit of black seed oil, and you will see the goiters shrink. Okay, a combination of these two usually are very helpful. So these are wonderful things to have in your staple. This is number one thing you should have as a prepper in going into something that you're going to have to conserve time and space in quarantine scenario. Many people, bee pollen, this is something we have a lot in Florida. Bee pollen is thebomb.com, antimicrobial, antifungal. Also the bee honeycombs. Now those who are vegans, you're against that. I understand that and I respect it. We extort a lot. We extort a lot from bees, and because we extort a lot from bees, there's karmic debt from that. So don't be mindful and be conscientious of the things you utilize and where you get it. Always give honor to the animals, the insects that give you things that are healthy for you. Okay, so bee pollen is also for those who have a lot of allergies. This is wonderful to put in teas. If anyone's having any congestion or anything having to do with asthma, having a little bit, steeping this in a little warm, not too hot, warm water, this actually helps. So bee pollen. Make sure it's local. You don't want to get bee pollen that's not from your area. The point of you taking is that all of the things that are collected from the bees from your own geographical area will help you. Okay? Same with honey. Raw honey that's local. Okay? You always see I have this in the house. Raw honey that's local. Only get local honey. The point of you getting is the bees have all of the perfect components of all of the plants that they've collected and have germinated to create their honey. Those positive attributes will come into you consuming them. Okay, so make sure thyme is also good. Yes. Oh, thank you for bringing that in. So you should have thyme. Now I have wild thyme growing, but when my prepper mode, I always have thyme. So thyme, thank you. Thank you, my love. Thyme is also good for bronchitis, making teas with it. Okay, you should have all your herbs. Mint is good for tummy issues, having mint. Also good for high blood pressure, okay? You should have basil. Oh, Lord, my basil's, I should put my basil away, my basil. I have basil growing outside. Basil's good for everything. Antifungal, antimicrobial, okay? Rosemary. Rosemary is another. I put this on my Instagram. You can see all the wonderful attributes of each thing. Always have these. Rosemary, basil, thyme, and definitely mint. These are wonderful. I have a host of other things, other herbs that I grow myself. Rosemary. These are things you grow in your garden. If you have a little garden, you should have these growing. Okay. Now, when we talk about, hold on. Eye flushes. I think we already went over this before. Liquid MSM. Thank you, Narda. Narda was the one who suggested this, thebalm.com. This is a good little clear out of your eyes. Remember that the T virus is also aerial. So I don't know why people are just covering up your nose because it can go in your eyes. Make sure you're wearing sunglasses if you're walking out, or glasses. Some of you wear glasses. Contacts may protect you as well. But when you come in the house, clear your eyes with like MSM. I don't know if you can order it anymore, but it's thebalm.com. You should have it in your arsenal. These are the things for first aid kit that you should have. Okay, so when things are going a little awry or feel a little off, you can just up your immune system. Maybe you're starting to feel the cough. So you have a little cough, okay, so you handle it. You say, okay, I have a little cough, let me take a little something. This is a majorly wonderful thing for mothers. Mothers, this is, you know, when you have a special, like someone has a huge recommendation, this is Fleur Brun's #1 recommendation. This is the bombdiggity.com. You notice I said diggity. So normally I say bomb.com. I said bombdiggity.com. This is Alpha CF. I've been using this for years for the little people and myself. It flies off the shelf like nothing. This is the best homeopathic remedy for pre-cold, pre-flu. You will stay healthy so long as you have this in the house. It goes so fast in my health food place because most people don't know about it, but the ones who do, this is amazing. Mommies, you hear your little one, it can go for the little people too because it's homeopathic. It works with the body. So if you have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, it is healthy for them to take. They have the children's version and they have the adult, but it's it's the best. This is the best and it will keep you healthy. Amazing. Okay, so Alpha CF. You should have this as a staple in your bag. It should be in your bug out bag. It is in your car. It works. I can't recommend it again. This and oil of oregano. There won't be anybody having anything close to anything in your house. These two are thebomb.com. Okay, and little people can take it. Okay. As you know, I always have a burning. Now, this is something that most people don't know, and it's probably why they deleted my last video. If many people don't know, please put a like on the video if you're in here. So hopefully the video stays up because I noticed they kicked this out. So for the 586 people, I'm just asking, please put a like on the video. They just removed the last video. They kicked this off. Maybe this will show them that they won't get away with doing it because too many people are watching them. So I just ask that you do that. I won't be around smoke. If you notice, I haven't burnt any incense. You say, why, Fleur Brun? Because what's happening with this aerial T virus is that for some reason, smoke is causing issues. So if you're burning, smoking, chiefing, I told you already, you better stop. The only thing I do in my house is steam. I won't use any more incense at a time where something is attacking the lungs. The lungs have to be healthy, have to have healthy, cilia. Cilia is like little whiskers on your lungs. If we burn incense, any smoke, anything that's burned is going to cause issues and it can break down the cilia, which allows for your lungs to be more susceptible to infiltration. So if you're a smoker, if you're smoking, I don't care if it's cigars, I don't care if you so on, listen to all your smokers right now. I know 50 million smokers right now. Every one of them has an issue. Every person who I know smokes a lot has a health issue. Every last one of them. So you shouldn't be smoking. No, steam everything. This is my recommendation. Remember, this is my recommendation only. Steam. So I have a diffuser that steams water. I use eucalyptus and this will, when the children walk in the house, I walk in the house, the steam is all over us. I learned this from Bobby Hemmett years ago, that this helped to alter, kind of defrag and mute some of the side effects from chemtrails. So steaming is fine. I've always been a steamer of sage. I was never a burner of sage. From our indigenous communities, big up to all the indigenous women on here. Many of you who come from nations who use a lot of sage, a lot of us used to boil the steam the sage in the house, the steam, and also use it on our hair. It helps to clear the hair. It helps to keep it very healthy and for hair growth. Okay, so if you're going to utilize anything, use oil diffusers, okay, that use steam, and stay clear of any smoke, any burned anything. It will hinder your lungs and it makes you more susceptible. I've been talking to you about chiefing all this long. A lot of you think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You think, oh, Flurburn, you're just a hater. Why would I be a hater to recommend you be healthier? I never understood why you guys criticize me sometimes for just caring enough to recommend something better. Okay, steam. Steam is a healthier thing. You also get the wonderful benefits of that wonderful steam that keeps moisture. Okay. Pain relievers. Hold on. Where is? Okay, sorry. Okay, I gotta get all my staples out. All right, so I'm out of a fan. You already know I don't like using, let me change my words. I like using things that are healthier for you as far as headaches and so on, because using ibuprofens and aspirins break down your liver and your kidneys. You can use it, and I say be careful using it. So I do use a homeopathic version, a pain reliever. So these are the homeopathic. This is the version that I've used for years. It does work. They actually have one for migraines that works, and they ran out. I usually keep the migraine one, but I ran out of it because I had a little one that had a headache, and I only let her use this, and they ran out. The migraine one is the best for migraines, and it works. And it's homeopathic, it isn't chemically based, and it works with your body to work with you, okay? And also another thing to use is, this is the one for the people who wanted to use the oregano, the pill form for the little ones. If you wanted to use this because the little ones will like the taste of it, this is the oregano. It's very expensive. I think this is like 50 bucks. It's worth having this. This is a staple. You know, I keep the liquid tincture, but for those who have little people, very small gel, you can take this, okay? Okay, so this is the oregano, the herbal version. Okay, another intestines, I keep intestinal edge. This is good for your intestines. Again, good gut health will let you overcome anything. So when something's attacking your endocrine system, having something like this will help. So intestinal edge is really good for just keeping a healthy homeostasis, okay? Okay, bladder-wrack, anyone has any hypothyroidism? What happens a lot of times when you're exposed to a lot of radiation, it will mess with your thyroid. That's it. Oh, my ear is ringing. I'm getting a message. Hold on. I'm getting telecommunication. Hold on. It's actually ringing in the ear that I have this. Hold on. Okay. So bladder-wrack is something you should have as a staple. Anyone who has thyroid issue or hypo, if you have hyper, you stay away from iodine. But most of us don't get enough of it, okay? And a lot of us are mixed with the Aquarian beings, the aqua beings, okay? The nomos. Big up to all the Aquarian beings. We're going into the Aquarius time when we're right with water. Get right with water, okay? Bladder-wrack is something that should be a staple in your house. Okay, this is the number one thing I told you, and I remembered I spoke to you before. This is now $50, it's almost $60, $50 now. Fermented cod liver oil. This is something your grandmothers used to give you. It's the most expensive one. I used to buy it years ago. It's good for teeth health. It's good for overall omegas. A lot of people are lacking in omegas. We're going back to the water world. I bought it years ago for $30. It went up. That's how I know it helps. It went up to $50 or $60 now. You said you got right with liquor? Terry said he's got right with liquor. Okay. These are all staples in the house. That's what I'm saying. Prepping is not about buying things. And you notice, family, let me just stop for a minute. Do you realize, family, that I haven't brought any food out yet? Did you notice, family, that the majority of the things that we just brought about right now were all herbs? Why is it that when I'm looking at all the prepper videos, all they have is food? Things that hamper your system. Eating during this time is going to cause you health issues. Why is it that everything that we discuss right now is totally herbal based? Because that is what you're supposed to prioritize, is keeping your system healthy and keeping as limited amount of food out of your system so your body has time to recover or to keep in a healthy homeostasis. We haven't talked about any food yet. We're going to get there, but we talked about having herbs and minerals and things that are healthy for you. Okay, that is what we prioritize. If you go to a channel and all they do is tell you to get 10, 20 pounds of rice, 40 pounds of beans, I'm not criticizing them, but that lets you know where their mindset is, because that's starches. Those are things that break your endocrine system down. Those are things that also have arsenic on it. So you want to add handy dandy arsenic to your diet at a time when they're impeding your immune system with technology and with vaccinations. So be careful with that. Okay, so if you're pregnant, you're fine. You can do slight homeopathics when you're pregnant. It's absolutely safe for you to do. You get your healthy things by making sure you're eating things that are high in vitamin C. Make sure you're getting a good amount of vitamin D for the baby, and calcium. We're going to go into that in a minute. So Thuja is something that I always tell people to have. Thuja, who is this? Is this my Thuja? Okay, Thuja. Thuja is something, I have tons of these. I have these in my bug out bags, Thuja. Thuja is wonderful for keeping your immune system up. Also, it gets rid of it because it has to do with the pines. A lot of the Native Americans believe that chewing on pine needles, if you wash them because they have a little bit of arsenic, this helps to keep your immune system up. Okay, so when you deal with pines like Thuja, there's other fine pines. These are things that get bacteria and funguses out of your system quickly. Okay, so having Thuja in your house as well. Okay, I've already talked about natural ibuprofen. Natural ibuprofen, this is, I got to give Lynn all the credit for this. Lynn was the one recommended it. It works. This is the best ibuprofen that's natural. Okay, this is turmeric, quercetin, and bromelain. This is the bomb.com. If you need something to get rid of any sort of inflammation or bloating, this works amazingly. It is natural. It works with your body. Please get this. Okay, raw calcium. Remember when the time traveler was saying that he needed a lot of calcium? What many of you don't know, when I used to work in research, and I actually did a cross-check on some research last week. The number one thing that happens when you're overwhelmed with microwave energies is your calcium is depleted. I had to cross-check this because I remember doing this with research back in the days, but I cross-checked it, and the reason why that time traveler was obsessed with calcium is because where he came from, there's a lot of technology that sucks the calcium or disallows calcium absorption. This is amazing. It's raw calcium. It's totally plant-based. It works amazingly. You need calcium, magnesium to keep your body healthy, and potassium. I have the one which one? Oh, I have another one. Okay, also, hold on. For anyone who does not know about this, and if many of you who went to the conference with me know that I use this for my little people for tummy issues, papaya extract enzyme. Whenever you're having stomach issues, you have tummy issues, this is natural extract. I travel with this. It is thebomb.com. Papaya enzyme extract I've used for years. It gets rid of tummy aches, any sort of acidity. Sometimes you travel, you just get a little funky tummy. It's great for the little ones, they'll take it because it tastes kind of, they could chew it. Okay, and for the little ones, for calcium, I do use this one. I do enjoy Blue Bonnet. They're calcium and magnesium. This is good for the little people. Okay. For the little ones, they do like this and they chew on it. It's a nice little chewable. It does absorb, and it's good for keeping their magnesium and their calcium balanced. You guys got to look and see where these things are. A lot of these I don't buy from Whole Foods. Whole Foods has been infiltrated. A lot of times you can't get really good things from Whole Foods anymore. Hold on, I have to put things away. Okay, Swiss Chris. Now for a laxative, somebody asked me, this is in my bug out bags and also in my house staple. Swiss Chris is a wonderful laxative. It's an herbal laxative. I do have this as a staple. If anyone has a problem getting constipated and it's worse than just putting castor oil in your tummy, it's a little more backed up, maybe based on having too much of something or stress. This works amazingly. This is a nice little staple to have in your bug out bags and in your house. It will it will flush your system out beautifully. So if you're a little backed up, Swiss Chris, don't use a lot of it because then you'll go to the bathroom a lot, okay? Swiss Chris. Okay, we're gonna talk about, you know that I'm fasting. So, okay, also for mommies, someone asked me about the staples because I always tell you, whenever you're in bug out mode, children get really stressed out. This is definitely a suggestion for anyone as a mommy. You know, a lot of times you wanna make sure, you know, I know that the little ones get scared, or you could be somewhere waiting online and they're crying, and you know that sugar has been a staple for them because, you know, the Matrix likes to shoot out sugar things and make them calm based on giving them more chemicals. But one of the things I say is good, and I've been using, I'm not using this, I have this. My little ones are a little big now, but I do have these Yummy Pops and they're full of vitamin C. If you're going to get lollipops, get organic pops. They have a lot of vitamin C. If you're going to give them the best of the sweets, give them the best of the bad, okay? So this is wonderful staple to have. You carry these in your bug out bags, okay? So definitely, you know, these are wonderful. They're not a lot of sugar. It's all naturally based. If you're going to have them have sweets in their bug out bags, you've got to have things to keep the little ones calm. Because when the little ones go bonkers, it will cause the mother to do things that she doesn't want to do based on the fact that she gets overwhelmed, okay? Remember, dried fruit, I've discussed why I'm not a fan of dried fruit. For every bit of dry fruit that they consume, they're going to have to rehydrate in their body, meaning that you're going to need way more water to consume by eating dry fruit. So it's good to have dry fruit, but remember, you got to rehydrate your babies because if they eat dry fruit, it's going to pull from their bodies to hydrate the fruit that they're consuming. These are not going to dehydrate them, okay? Okay? And let me state this. This prepper video, these are things you should have in your house. These are things that you should be utilizing daily. We aren't discussing things that you shouldn't have. When I'm looking at AMTV with all kinds of macaroni and cheese and so on, these aren't things that you should even be consuming daily, okay? Because they're gonna cause problems to the endocrine system in your body. Why would he promote being a prepper and staying in quarantine and lowering your immune system, okay? So we're gonna get into that too. If you're gonna do sweets, let's do the bad of sweets. Now we're gonna go into some of the food prepper mode. I could go all day about the herbs, but I don't wanna waste any more time because I don't have that much of it. Hold on. For other moms who, you know, if you're flying on the air, another thing you could do is Glee. It's the least amount, Glee. So for little ones, if you're traveling and you know it's going to be stressful and you know that they'll like sweets, but you want the best, Glee is a nice little gum. Daddies, or for daddies, this is for daddies too. Mommies or daddies. Glee little gum, they could chew on it. Chicle, it's not going to harm them. It's not full of sugar. This is a nice little organic gum, cinnamon. It's good for their tummies too. It's GMO free. You can travel with these, put these in a bag. I have in my travel bag things like this so they can suck on it. If you're traveling with little ones, say you have to fly out last minute or being on a bus or a train. This is good for the tummy. It's cinnamon and they can chew on it and they'll feel happy and cohesive. You can have little vitamin C pops so you know that they're sucking on something that has a lot of vitamin C. You know, we want to talk and be realistic. We want to make sure that if we're going to do things, we keep things in mind, okay? Single daddies, absolutely. Daddies, you're just as important as mommies, okay? So just know that. Okay, so let's go into, I think I did all the staples, okay. So also, now we're gonna start getting into the staples of your prepper. If you're going into quarantine, these are things that I suggest you should have. I have them in a house. These are wonderful things in case. So as I talked about, you should have water filters, and having high quality electrolytes. And also I have like a box of these, and also you should have at least a couple of those 5-gallon dispensable water bottles. I have a dispenser in my house. So I always have water stocked in the house from that, okay? It's necessary for you. Now, this is thebomb.com. Now, I'm giving you things that are part of the quarantine. Now, we're going to the quarantine right now. We're going straight in. For anyone coming in, please put a like on the video. They've already, I don't even know if they deleted the other video, but we're going in. This is organic earth body food. This is alkaline smoothie mix for the body. This is Irish sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root. This is thebomb.com. You want to make smoothies while you're home, and you want to make sure, because remember, superfoods are important to keep, or good staples to keep your immune system up. You don't need to eat a lot, but if you have a nice, powerful smoothie, this could last you all day. This is amazing. This is the best. Irish sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root. These are the triple fire bomb.com crew. They travel together, they do well together, and they will keep your immune system on and popping, okay? This is nice to make. This is definitely something to have in your quarantine household. So quarantine people, you better get this. This is nice to have. You add a little teaspoon, tablespoon to your smoothie, your immune system will be on and popping, okay? So that's number one. I talked about the Camu Camu. You need to have this as well in your house to keep your immune system up. The Camu Camu, that's another one. To evade a lot of the issues. If you're going to have sugar in the house. Now, big up to Narda. I learned this from one of our nistas, and also in order to keep from being so influenced by the Senk-G, radiation that's coming through, that's actually causing the T virus. This is something that mutes it, palm sugar. So if you're going to sit at home, you're going to bake, you're going to make cakes, maybe you make some things, and you want to use really low dense sugar like cane sugar. Cane sugar is not the best sugar. It's probably the worst, and it causes a lot of issues when it comes to when your immune system is hampered. This is amazing. Now, I have an allergy to actually to the new form of date sugar is good too. I have the date sugar here. Where is it? Okay. Date sugar is also good too. So you have date. This is classic date sugar. Maple, pure maple. But this actually helps to mute radiation. Okay. So palm sugar, a starch. This is number one for your starch. We're going into stocking now. What things you should have in quarantine to enjoy your life and to be able to be appropriate. This is a dual usage. By using this, it will mute the radiation. It has a blocker to block radiation from permeating into you and messing with your genomes. But also, it's really nice and low glycemic. So it works well for a couple of different reasons, okay? So hold on. Now, there's regular palm sugar. I have an allergy to coconut, so I get this one. Okay. This is amazing. It tastes really good. It's a nice, robust taste to it. Some people mentioned having monk sugar. Yes, we have date. Fleurburn has it all. This is monk sugar. If you like it, it's not that sweet. This is nice for your coffees or your teas. You shouldn't be doing coffee in quarantine. You should be doing decaffeinated everything. Okay, so monk sugar is good. Some people don't like it. I'm not a fan of it, but I have it as my I have it as one of my staples for my prepping mode. So this is one of them as well. Okay, so you have a combination between a couple of things. I have my date, I have maple, and definitely make sure you have pure maple. Pure maple is packed with minerals and vitamins. Having a huge pure Vermont, remember I was in Vermont, maple is amazing. Okay, so, dry mouth, I have that too. Dry mouth, somebody's asking, you guys are asking me questions I know the answers to. Dry mouth, this is amazing for dry mouth. I have this for dry mouth, it works really well. I don't know what's on there. I have something on there. Dry mouth. Okay. I've used this for years. Like occasionally I'll get dry mouth. When I was pregnant, I got more dry mouth. So I would have this as a staple. So this is dry mouth. This is by Thayer's dry mouth. It works. It's like citrusy. Okay, make sure you get Maple Bee. They don't call it Maple Bee anymore. They call it dark. Remember, we changed timelines. They don't have Maple Bee anymore. Okay, did you guys get this? Can someone write this down? Can someone put that in the okay? This is Thayer's dry mouth spray. This is for those who have dry mouth, okay? Whenever there's a lot of radiation, you already know they kick up the radiation, your mouth will get dry. You get cotton mouth, okay? Okay. You should always have baking soda in the house. Baking soda is an anti-carcinogen. You should bathe the babies with baking soda anytime you have issues where you get rashes or anything. Baking soda is the bomb.com. You should have the big one. I have a huge one, but this is a nice one to bake with. But you should always have baking soda in the house. Baking soda should be in your house for quarantine. You should have the huge bag. So if you can get the huge Arm & Hammer bag, that's fine. I have this one, and I have several of these. Okay? This is for your quarantine in the house, family. Where is it? Okay. Another one that helps to get rid of, we go into palm. Remember, we talked about palm sugar, and big up to Narda, she was the one who mentioned it, helping to mute some of the radiation. This is something that Caribbean people would do use. I think in India, you guys use this a lot. I used to use this on my hair. Red palm oil. It's really hard to get nowadays. It isn't sold in Whole Foods anymore because they got up on it, and it does mute radiation. So it helps to mute some of the radiation. Red palm oil. I used to put it on my skin. Oh, it's a beautiful color. It's red. So it's like, be careful because it will stain everything. Can you check the wash, the dryer, baby? See if your stuff is done? Okay. Yeah, so this is red palm. I actually got this for my quarantine for the house. So I have 2 of these. I always have this in the house. I rub this down with the babies. If you feel that they're getting too much radiation, rub them down, put it on your hair. This is something that mutes radiation, and it goes along with the red palm sugar. Okay, so this is nice. You can add it to food. It's an additive. Make sure you aren't putting it on something that's high heat because you want to make sure you keep it at a low heat so you aren't destroying the molecular component of it. Okay. So this is the bomb.com red palm. I love it. I love it on my skin. It's messy though, so just make sure, but it's great for your skin, okay? We don't really do other oils. I always have this as my staple if you want to do quarantine. What's that little thing on my thing? There's like a little face on there's like a little ghost on my thing. Wait, did someone just make I don't know whose face that is. It's got like a little ghost on my thing. Do you guys see that? Oh, thank you, Douglas. I didn't see your donation. I appreciate it. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Douglas. I just saw your little signature up top. Thank you. I love it. Appreciate it. This is avocado oil. I only use avocado oil. Because I have someone who has an allergy to olive oil, so I only use avocado oil. So I only have this in the house, along with sunflower. Okay. So I'll keep these these are quarantine. These are staplers for saving. These aren't things I use daily. I will keep these as savers to cook. So remember, when you're in quarantine, you're going to enjoy, cooking and enjoying, doing things. You may want to use this as like make your little salad dressing. Sunflower oil hasn't anything, and I use olive oil. I use not olive oil. I use avocado oil. Okay. Try to use cold press. Now this is espresso Sprella press. I've been using the one, to be honest. This is the one for staying in the house, but the one that I use is cold press. It's expensive, but it's so good. Okay. As you know, you should always have. You already know. You guys have it. You should always have. Now remember, I tell people of color, we don't need to eat and drink this, but this is good to have in the house. It can fix things. You can clean with it. For those who don't have an aversion to, things that are to any vinegar, this is wonderful. So you have it here. Always have Bragg's in the house. Okay. Have this. It's wonderful. It's a staple. I have a couple of these. These go in the house. I remember I make my clays with them to clay myself. That's the only time you hear me use this as clay. I have a little one who likes it in her salad dressing, so I make it with that as well. Okay. Go check your stuff in the dryer. Okay. This is pure borax. Okay. We're gonna go into things that you save in the house. Pure borax. Where's my other thing? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna go into cleaning things really quick because I know I'm farting on time and the little ones are hungry. Oh, wait. You should always have sea moss. Now, I have sea moss that I stock in the house, and I have sea moss that I use. Sea moss is also, hold on, before I get into cleaning, I'm not going to get into cleaning things real quick. Hold on. Because I'll go on a tangent. Hold on. Okay. Let me go in one direction. Okay, because everything of the sea. The things that will be healthiest at this time, we're muting. That's why they're getting you away from the ocean. That's why they're taking you away from the ocean. They're taking you away from the beach, are things that have to do with the sea. The sea, anything with the sea right now will help to heal you. Okay, they will help to mute things. That's why they're pushing everyone away from the shores. Okay, so this is like a cheaper version of Irish moss. You can get this at the West Indian place. I keep a lot of these in stock and storage in the house. The other one that I use, that I make my own sea moss, that's, the one I get from the health food place. But I keep these, and it's always good to have sea moss. This is highly packed with minerals and resources. It can mute radiation. This is thebomb.com, okay? But it does have sulfur, and I have a sensitivity to it. So I don't do it too much for myself, but I do it for my family, okay? I have seaweed, okay? I have tons of these. I have these as my staple for saving and for saving. I have seaweed up the gazoo. These are things that I have. My little ones like snacks. This helps to mute radiation, and it's good for you and your immune system, and great for your thyroid, okay? So I have tons of seaweed. I have these. These are all for prepper. This is all for saving. We don't eat these daily because these are things to save for in case of emergencies, okay? So I keep seaweed and sea moss as my staples in my house for any sort of quarantine or saving. And also I keep them in my bug out bags, okay? They're good for the little ones to eat on if they can tolerate it, okay? There's all kinds of seaweed. So there's these two. You can get them from Trader Joe's. Those are good. I have seaweed everywhere, okay? So I know that if I have these, if you get the little ones that want a crunchy snack that's not chips, that isn't potatoes, potatoes stiffen you. And also with all of the low ELF waves, it can mess with you as far as like, them using Sunk G. So always have seaweed. If your little ones, some little ones don't like it. So this is only for those and for adults. I love them. I love seaweed. So my little ones just so happen to have my palate, okay? So they'll love it too, all right? Okay. Oh, baby, come real quick. Come here, Cookie. I think I did this already. Cookie. Come, baby. Okay. So I stay as much away from gluten as possible, because gluten is the devil, and that's why everybody has all these gluten sensitivities. And I think it has a lot of metal in a lot of the wheat sources. So I do a lot of cassava flours, and where's my other flour? Hold on. Okay, so you'll see me do, a lot of I'll bake with this is Anthony's cassava flour. I have also this cassava flour. I bake with these. I'll do spelt. I rarely use any other. These are good for your endocrine system. Breadfruit flour. Okay, so these are the different types of flour that I use. I make sure when people say quarantine, people always talk about, oh, quarantine, oh, we'll have mac and cheese. Why would you have that? These are great for your endocrine system. They're not going to hamper your immune system. And these are great for baking and making, waffles or pancakes. I mean, if you're going to do things like that, then you're going to use high amount, the best quality maple syrup, which is like high in a lot of flavonoids. It has a lot of vitamins. It has a lot of minerals. So you use the best maple syrup. These are all things to have in quarantine. This is literally telling you these are healthy things for you to have in quarantine. If quarantine was implemented right now, we would be fine for at least 6 months or more, okay? And I keep different kinds of flour because if I want different texture. So you'll see I have different kinds of cassava flour. I like breadfruit flour. These are nice to have, okay? Also, I have quinoa. Quinoa is nice to have as well, Village Harvest quinoa. These are all staples for you staying quarantine-wise. Is somebody in here starting-ish? Okay. Okay, so making sure that you have like your different variety. You may not want quinoa. one day, but you have maybe breadfruit. You can make yourself buckwheat flour. You know, you can make yourself a nice little flatbread. Put a couple of little wonderful staples on there, add a little sea moss or seaweed on there. These are things to have. So always know that you have these staples in your house as wonderful quarantine. So if you're quarantined right now, we're all good in the hood. And if you want to add something else to it, you can say, well, okay, I want something a little more whole, you know, that I'm used to. You do your Israeli couscous. Couscous is nice. The little ones like couscous. You can make couscous with some fresh salad. You can make couscous with something, another staple. Okay, so couscous is also nice. Okay, this is more, you know, couscous is made with wheat, but if you want something like that, you could do couscous. Okay, my mate likes couscous, so I have, this is one of his staples. He likes this, so I incorporate some of the things he likes because he may not like some of the other things. He loves everything I cook, but he may want other things, and he likes when I make couscous. Ah, die Merkur, oh no. I'm gonna have a lot of cleaning up to do. Hold on, family. I've got everything in here, okay. Now, you know, you say you wanna be a little fun, you wanna get a little funky and eat some fun stuff. Okay, so let's get to some of the other staples, okay? So you don't wanna always have sweets. You know, Florban likes to have her sweets and I love to do things like that. And it's nice to know, and many of you know that I lived a life as mostly a vegetarian vegan. I'm more of a flexitarian now, but you know, I've lived most of my life as that. You know, when people say, you can't live that life and be healthy. You can. You just have to know what you're doing. Okay, so flaxseed. I keep golden flaxseed in the house. This is another staple. You make flaxseed. Also, it's nice if you don't use eggs because we don't use eggs. So we have allergies. My little one's allergy to eggs. We don't use eggs in any of my baking. I bake the most amazing cakes, pies, everything. And I don't use any eggs, but flaxseed, you can soak flaxseed. It's good. Also, it's good for your hair. It's good for also high in, you know, a lot of B's and omegas. You should have this. This should be in your stockpile. You can make things with this. You can put, I love to make a flatbread with flaxseed and I don't break it. I like to cook it with flaxseed and like the crunchiness. Oh, I make it like that and then I wrap it, oh my gosh, with like fresh vegetables, like I dice it up from the garden, like fresh peppers. I can make chalets in there and I saute it. And then sometimes I'll do something like this. I'll do a Korean. This is a nice little additive to your vegetables or your meats. So if you do meats, Korean barbecue sauce is soy-free. This is so good. So this is what I have in my staying at home. You know, when I'm staying at home, let's say we're in quarantine, I'm in quarantine every weekend because I stay in my home. I like to cook and do things like this. But this is a nice little, you'll love this. Oh, this is a wonderful barbecue. This is only for my bug out. So I know I like it, so I save it so that if ever we had to stay home, I crap this up and it lasts you for a while. You just use a little bit. And you could put this on a nice little fajita. It's a Korean barbecue soy-free. I use zero soy in anything. You know I'm soy-free for everything. So if you want to try this, this is really, really good. Okay? Flaxseed, flaxseed you can replace from eggs, from baking with eggs. Okay? Now, if you want to do, you know, for those who want to do rices, instead of following the crazy AMTV guy who has rice, beans, who does rice and beans like that? I'm not a fan of rice, but if you're going to do rice, do it healthy. Do rice ramen. So you want to do rice ramen. This is a healthier version. This is Lotus Food. You have this in your staple. My partner, he loves this. So I do this with a nice little vegetable puree. It's really good. So this is not expensive. You can get 10 of these, 5 of these, and you can actually keep these and make these with nice little cut up, nice little vegetables. You can add some texture to it. Okay. So this is nice. This is a rice ramen. I'm not against. I'm out of the mix of utilizing things with a lot of the wheat products because wheat causes a lot of issues. And you know, my fast is tomorrow, so you know, I'm going to be liquiditarian for a while, and you'll hear about that later. Okay, so this is a nice little staple to have. And then people say, well, what do you make that with? Now, one thing I say to you, because we're going back into the aquarian stage, big up to our aquatarians coming in the house. We are going back to the water world, and part of our prepping, remember, this is what we want, family. Let me state this again. This video is about preparing for the shift. The shift is occurring. This is a wonderful time. It is getting rid of beings on this planet that are out of sync with Mother Tiamat. It is clearing them. How would it clear it? It brings on diseases of mass destruction that affects those who match that frequency. You aren't in that frequency. So this is basically you preparing to just be in a healthy mode, waiting and watching and observing from a distance, okay? And being happy and cohesive. Now, someone said we're at the Raymond New. Hold on, family. Flurburn has to be hydrated. Hold on. Oh, I love this. I have grapes somewhere, but I can't find them. I have my Globe grapes. Oh, I'll show you in a minute. Hold on. I gotta clean all this up. My mate, I gotta clean all this up. I gotta put it all back where it was. I did this all for y'all. I hope you appreciate it because some people were gonna make it hard for you to get this video. They were being very disrespectful to me, but I said, I'm not gonna make everyone pay for a couple people that are very disrespectful. They were coming in my DM saying all kinds of disrespectful things about me. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let a couple party poopers ruin the video because I think a lot of times people make you pay for this and I think that's wrong. I appreciate it when people shared information with me that I really appreciated. Okay. So for those who want more comfort, okay, you say Flurburn, okay, that's wonderful. You got a lot of healthy things. I showed you some of the healthier things, like healthy, but the best of the bad. Okay, so if you want to do ramen noodles, do this. This is green. Some people, my partner, he'll eat it, but some of you don't want green ramens, right? You all want real ramens, right? But you're going to get the healthiest. Okay, so this is another one that's nice. It's by Koyo. It's ramen. So you guys do the bootleg. Remember y'all went to college? Some of you went to college. Big up to all the college students who were living in ramen noodles in your dormitories. You remember the days when you were living on ramen noodles in your dormitories? Yes, you do. But they weren't unhealthy. So these are cute little ones. They are really healthy. They'll make you feel comfortable. Lemon, grass, ginger. Okay, so I'm not going to give you everything. My mate is a regular, he loves eating my food, but he likes eating certain things that are comfort for him. So I incorporate that as well. So these are really the healthiest of anything. You like these, okay? And now this is what you should be stockpiling, okay? Because many people say, oh, I'm going to be staying in quarantine. Let me just get like a lot of salt, a lot of salty bouillons. It's unnecessary. If you are in the aquatarian mode, because we're going back to the water world, you are going to have to make sure you're being mindful because all of the animals have been incepted. Let me state this again before I say this again. All of the animals on the surface have been incepted. We have abused them. We have overutilized them, and they are going to destroy you. And anyone utilizing them in disrespect would deserve it. That's why Chinois' neck of the woods, they are going through what they are because they were so anti-nature. When you are anti-nature, it doesn't say that you shouldn't consume. Our native families used to eat elk, buffalo, deer, okay, fish. They did. So it isn't to say that our people on this planet weren't consuming flesh. They were, but there was a respect for them. They weren't over-industrialized communities destroying nature and eating anything and everything without love or respect for the animals they were consuming. Chinois' neck of the woods, they will be dealing with the karmic debt of being out of the elements. You aren't allowed to hurt and kill things and do it to a degree where you don't even care whether the pain or the suffering of the planet or the animals that you consume. Okay? Honor everything. So every surface animal that is being, the cows, I don't know if many of you heard about the cows right now. There's cow disease back. I told you about swine flu. I told you about this pig has poison. The chickens of mass destruction. All those things have been infiltrated. There's only a few things left. I mean, buffalo, everything on the surface I would question. Lamb, maybe, goat, maybe, but they're destroying and they're infecting everything surface-wise. It's harder for them to mess with wild fish, okay? This is one staple that's expensive, but I will recommend it to those who aren't vegan and vegetarian because it will save your life nutrient-wise. It's expensive, and most people don't even know it exists. And you can make it yourself. Fish broth or like beef broth, most of you know bone broth. These are the things your grandmother used to make, and she used to save the steep from your fish when she soaked the bones. You can do it yourself. You need to have this in your quarantine. At least 20 or 30 of these. These are about $8 to $10 a pop. Listen to me, family. It's worth every penny. It will keep your system steeped in health. This is made with monkfish. This is 33 ounces. Okay? So for a family, you need to have this. Your grandmothers, your mothers always had this. They kept the broth from the fish bones, and they used to give it to you as soups, and it used to make you feel better. Okay? This you need to have. Most people don't know you have fish broth, bone broth, fish broth, because it's so darn expensive. Okay? This is what all the hot toddies have in their steerage. Get at least 10 to 20 of these if you think you're going to be in quarantine for a while. You won't be disappointed. This is better than any beef broth you can get. Okay? Because everything from the sea is the only thing that can mute all of these low ELF waves that are coming in. Okay? So here. Okay? Also, you know, getting this, many of you see the veggie broth. This is nice to have. You can get this at Walmart, Oceans, Walmart, Whole Foods, any supermarket. These are nice to have. You should have broth. Broth is good, unless you make it yourself. I'm a fan of making it yourself, but if you're in quarantine and you don't have it and you need some staples, have this, okay? You need to have your broth, all right? That broth was $7.99. Okay, so we found someone who got it for $7.99. That's a good price. Okay, so if you see it, get quite a few. These are people who are in quarantine time. Always have them. Do not eat them. Keep them for storage. They last for a while. Okay, and these containers are usually BPA free. This is another faux. I actually love these faux. This is another one. Okay, we're getting into the goodies now. Okay. For those who are big into tapioca, I was in Brazil. Did I get this one from Brazil? No, I didn't get this one from Brazil. I have these. I have the big black tapioca. I plan to make my own boba drinks. I make my own boba drinks. I have the big black tapioca. In South America, they do a lot of tapioca for everything they bake. This is nice to have. Tapioca is like a starch, but it's actually a good starch, and you actually don't get tired and dense. This is actually nice to have. It's from Guyana, right? You're from Guyana. You recognize your flag, right? So I always have tapioca. You know, a lot of us West Indians and South Americans, we have a lot of tapioca and cassavas. So do have this. This is nice to make goodies. You can make actually some hot cereal in the morning with tapioca. Your little ones usually should like it, right? So I'm going to give you some fun stuff, okay? So a lot of the West Indians and a lot of mommies from like the Midwest, the South probably can appreciate these things. This is Scottish. Where's my Scotties in the house? Where's my Scottish? Where's my Scotties? Big up to all the Scottish in the house. Big up to all my Scotties. Where's my Scotties? My Scotties in the house. Okay, for all my Scottish, this is wonderful. This is only for quarantine. I buy this because it's really yummy. This is my Scottish oatmeal, the Outlander. This is the best one. I love this one. It's a great texture. It's really nice. It's really steeped. Really nice to make hot cereals. This is nice to have. Most people don't get these. This is nice to have in your staples. I wonder why AMTV didn't have oatmeal. Why wouldn't you have oatmeal in your prepper? You have peanut butter and jelly? What a disgusting person. You don't even have some hot Scottish hot cereal porridge. This is like a staple in a lot of homes in the South. I think the South, you guys eat a lot of this. Why wouldn't you have staples like Scottish oatmeal? You've got it. This is something to get in your house. Please make sure you get some Scottish. If your children and yourself likes porridge or oatmeal, this is really good. It's high in nutrients and high in minerals, and it's very comforting. What's that? You okay? Hello? Oh, little ones are breaking things down. I'm passing dinner time, y'all, so I can't stand too long. I've got dinner time going. So if you love oats, I love Scottish. I like Irish and Scottish oats. Big up to all my Irish and Scotties on here. Where are my Scotties and my Irish? I love Scottish and Irish oats. This is something to have. You should have 3 of these or 4 of these. This one is actually many ounces? I forgot. It doesn't say how many ounces. This is a big one. This is the big one. But this will last you a while. But you should have 2 and 3 of these if you can. Okay, this is nice to have. Some porridge. You can add some flaxseed. Listen, you can add some flaxseed to it and you got a powerful breakfast. And you can eat that just one time a day if you're conserving on energy. This would be a one good meal. If we talk about a meal and you go into like almost a fasting zone, you have one nice meal of this, add a little bit of maple or honey to it. My gosh, you have a powerfully packed, wonderful, organic, healthy meal for the day. And you would be fine. There are places in Europe where they didn't even have but a potato for a day for eating. We're just over consumers. You see how thick I am? I don't even eat a lot. It's because it's unnecessary for us to eat a lot, okay? This is also a nice one. I keep this granola. For those who like granola as a staple, this is a really nice one. This is sinful. This is really yummy. My mate loves this. This is his favorite. Don't tell him I told you. This is his favorite. He'll eat this over he likes this like over some of his food. Oh, he likes granola. So granola is really nice. You should have this. These are all prepper. When people say, well, prepper, why does it sound gourmet? Why would you prep and have garbage? Part of you prepping is that there's an emergency. If there's an emergency, wouldn't you want to be at your optimum health? Wouldn't you want to have the best things for your health? Why would you prep with things that you wouldn't even eat normally in your life? Or maybe there's people who do eat garbage in their life. So the point of you being in prepper mode, if it's an emergency situation, wouldn't you be eating the highest, most powerfully healthy things and being able to keep your immune system high so that when you go back to life, you're robust? Okay, so these are things that you should have. And if you like mac and cheese, then have mac and cheese and make it yourself. Okay? Where's the other thing? Hold on. Okay. So northern beans. Okay, so I'm not a fan of beans, but I do know my partner does. I have black beans too. So I keep like organic beans. This is actually for my prepper. This is older. I've kept this. I don't do a lot of beans in my house. Northern beans for doing hummus. You can make your own hummus. Have beans in the house. You know to have beans. I don't do a lot of beans because they have a lot of they have a lot of gas and a little bit of that thing. But if you want to make a hummus or something like that, you should always have beans in the house. Okay, so you have a variety of beans. Make sure they're organic. Make sure they're the best. If you're going to do these things and have those things in the house, make sure you have them. Okay. Someone said, my mate, this is what he'll do. So when he wants to go in prepper mode, he knows he likes certain things. I can't really do grains, but he likes spaghetti. So he'll get, he went and got a couple of these spaghettis. You can do spaghettis. It's organic and it's semola. So if you're going to do them, have at least, if you like spaghetti and the children like spaghetti, then you do the best of the bad. This is not expensive. You get about 5 or 6 or 15, depending on how big your family is, and you can get a couple of these and have these as a staple. You can add some comfort things that you like that are healthier. I mean, I'm not a fan of spaghetti, so wheat, but if those are comfort things, then you do organic. Have organic, and you still keep your immune system up, and you have comfortable things to consume at the same time. Okay. I'm a coffee fan. Many of you know that coffee is Fleur Bruins, one of my signatures. Many of you know me from drinking coffee every day. But because you're in prepper mode, we're in prepper mode, you know that you're going to have to stick it out, and you know that caffeine will dehydrate you. What do? This is my favorite replacement. This is chicory. It tastes just like French roast. They have Tecchino, which is like French roast. It tastes just like coffee. It is healthy for you. A lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients. This is thebomb.com. You should have 3 or 4 of this. If you have people in your house that are coffee drinkers, just to be in prepper mode, they may go in detox, but it's better to have them have this. It tastes great. It's phenomenal. It's healthy for them. Whenever you see me go fasting, before my fasting, 3 or 4 days prior, when I'm detoxing, I always do Carif. And it is caffeine free. It isn't a coffee. It is chicory. Okay, it is thebomb.com. Okay, so you can have this. Again, my partner, he likes certain things. Oh, no, he doesn't like this. Somebody else bought this. Okay, so these are some things in pocket. Now, I'm not a fan of cans, but this is from previous prepper stuff that I have. So I won't do metals, but these are things that I have in my staples, and I can exchange them. Again, you know why I'm not messing with metals, but I do have some in my staples for prepper mode. Tonic. Tonic is phenomenal for stomach issues and also for joint issues. If you're having restless legs, tonic will get rid of it. Tonic is amazing. If you could get the glass, I have the glass in my cabinet now. The glass ones are better, but if you can get cans of tonic, I don't care that you have cans as long as you have some tonic. Tonic is wonderful to keep. It is necessary when you have restless legs or things that have to do with like shaking, okay, or nerve issues, okay. It was my mother who taught me to use tonic for that. Okay, a lot of you drink with gin and tonic. No, this isn't to drink with punch or wine and spirits. This is something to have as your staple. Okay, so make sure you have these. Jello. I'm not a. It's unbroke. No, you good? Okay. I'm not a fan of Jello, but I do jellies. I do a Jello-free, gelatin-free. This is good for the little ones. They can make their own stuff. So when you're in quarantine and you want the little ones to start cooking for themselves, let them make their own stuff. Have fun in quarantine. This is a wonderful, yummy, Jello-free. I'm not a fan with gelatin, but this is gelatin-free Jello. I have every flavor. They love making these. They're tasty. You can do it with a coconut whip on top. You know, if you have a little coconut whip or something like that, you can get 20 of these, 30 of these, and make this like a staple for your, make this for like a staple for your night, like a dessert. So if you have a little dessert, you know, you can mix them, you can square them up, and you can make a little salad with them. These are wonderful, and this is good to have in your cabinets. The little ones love it, you'll love it, it's healthy, and it's gelatin free. So your immune system is always good. Also these little, I remember someone giving me these. These are also very good. These are like little candy twists for the little ones. This is organic. This is another one that I just have. I have a whole bunch of these that someone gave me a pack of, one of my family members, for the girls, and they like them, and they're healthy, and they're purely fruit. There isn't any sugar based in here as far as I know, and it's really good. Okay. I've got so much. Okay. Yes, there's another thing that's really good for flavonoids, and also you can add to your oatmeal, or you can add to your pancakes. I have one that's unopened. This is the one that I use. I keep it in the fridge. Cacao. Now, when I was in South America, cacao was like nothing. Cacao was like $2. Here, it's so expensive. It's a superfood. It's high in flavonoids. It's really good for you, but be careful. It has a lot of oxalates in it, but it's very good. You can put this on top of your food. This is nice to add to a smoothie. This is nice to chill out, you know, make an avocado ice cream and add this as chocolate, you know, as the chocolate replacement. Cacao is amazing. So this is cacao nips. They're pretty costly. It's nice to have. I have 2 of these that are in my staple in case of quarantine, and you have fun with baking and everything, and it's healthier than anything. So cacao nips are really nice. Okay. Now, when we talk about teas, many of you who went to my conference in New Orleans, big up to y'all, you know that I make a wonderful, tea that is with soursop and moringa. I make a moringa soursop lime tea. That's one of the things. My mate loves me for this. He loves. First thing you ever hear me, like when we're on live, what do I tell you him to do? He wants to go in and have his tea. He loves his tea. It's his iced tea. It is so good for you. So number one thing you need to have in the house is good teas. Okay, these are great to have. Moringa. I have tons of this. I grow moringa. I have moringa. This is wonderful. Also have the seeds. Okay, so moringa grows wild like weeds, and soursop. Okay, my sister-in-law usually gives me the soursop leaves. I rarely use the tea, but sometimes if I run out of the leaves, I use this. Soursop and moringa tea, that is the bomb. It'll keep your immune system up. It's yummy for iced tea, and I use fresh key limes to make my tea, okay? Also, as another staple for your tea, I love this one. This is good for the little one's tummy. Lemon, ginger, manuka honey. Manuka honey is really high. It's not from here. It's not a local honey, but it really will get rid of congestion. It's really good for you. So I keep these teas. I have tons of teas. Teas you should always have in the house. Also for pastas, because I am gluten-free and I got this from South America, one of the things they do is heart of palm pasta. Remember I told you I bought a whole bunch of these? These are for my staple for quarantines. If I'm quarantined, this is the number one thing that I love. This pasta is the bomb.com. Now, my partner, he doesn't like this, but I love heart of palm pasta. This is my favorite. You can order these. These are hard. These are from South America. They are yummy. I love to do this with a nice little thing. They're gluten free. They don't have any of the wheat. I'm out of. I have zero. I'm a zero fan of wheat, but this is really good. This is harder palm, okay? Pasta. This is my favorite. And I have tons of harder palm in cans because I put them aside. Harder palms is hard to get otherwise. So they do have cans of it. I do have that, I will say. So that's one of it. Now, I don't like cans, but my partner, he's a pure West Indian man. He loves callaloo. So we grow callaloo. I have callaloo, and I usually store callaloo. But he always picks up cans because he likes it for the staple in his bug out. So he likes this. Cans, I'm not a fan of. You know, I don't like cans, but for his sake, this is his additive. This is one of his additions, callaloo. Callaloo is higher in minerals, higher in vitamin C. It's really good for you. And you can put it in bottles as opposed to can. So when I grow a lot of callaloo and then I stop, we usually eat it if I grow it. But if I get enough to actually put them in bottles, I prefer to put it in glass bottle jars as opposed to this. But this is callaloo. This is very West Indian. A lot of West Indians love callaloo. And we make this with like different, you could add fish to it. You can add crab to it and things like that. Okay. This is something else he added. This is his addition. He likes pumpkin. We like pumpkin. Again, I'm not a can fan, but these are things that you can have in your staple. This is pumpkin, organic pumpkin. You know, pumpkin is high in vitamin C, high in beta carotene. It's really good for you. Definitely pumpkin. You can make pumpkin soup. It's wonderful. It's good for the little ones. It's good for your tummy. This also makes you feel happy. Pumpkin is one of the happier fruits or whatever. But it's really good and it makes you happy when you eat it. Okay, I have tons of marinara sauce. This I have tons of. So I have tons of these stocked up. You should have at least 5. If you like tomato sauce and you're not going to make it, you should have at least 5 or 6 of these stocked up for you. So if you want to make a pasta or you want to do a combination, like you want to make your harder palms and this, it's a nice little combination. For some of you who are not averse to mushrooms, or I use harder palms, I actually cut the harder palms like a mushroom and I put it on top. So it's a nice little combination, okay? So you should have at least 5 or 6 of these in your staple for your steak out at home. Okay. Another little staple, I have several of these rice noodles. I don't mess with, I don't like rice, but I will keep these. These are better for us to have than to mess with wheat. These are rice noodles. These are wonderful staple again. My phone is going to die soon, so I want to make sure I get through this quickly because I've got to go make dinner. Okay. This is really nice. It's a nice texture. My little ones love rice noodles. They do. You can make them in soups. You can make it with your soup broth and everything like that. Add a little seaweed to it. Get a little, make a little something with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so slippery elm. This is good for the stomach. You should have this in your staple. I use this for my little one's stomach. It will settle down the stomach. You should have slippery elm in your bug out. Okay, slippery elm is good for the tummy. I can't say this enough. I should have started at the beginning with this. Do have slippery elm. Slippery elm. Very good for you. Okay. Oh, yeah, get the right there. Go in this. Yeah. No, I have that. Go in. No, right there. The bottle. Yeah. Okay. This is another thing to have. Remember I told you need to have a lot of magnesium. This is another. Country Life has calcium, magnesium, and potassium. This is amazing. I have 3 of these. I have one for my bug out and I have one for the house and just one we use. These are good to have in the house. You need to have calcium, potassium, especially magnesium, calcium, potassium, the triple threes that work together cohesively. Always have this in the house. It's wonderful to have it and it's good to keep your potassium. Sometimes I'm low in potassium because I can't eat bananas. And I don't eat tons of avocados all the time. So, this is another thing to definitely have in the house. Go in there and get that. Oh, the cake right there. Those. Okay. I bought these as snacks for the little ones. The one that doesn't have the egg free. This one does have egg, but Smart Cakes, these are nice to travel with. I don't need this. Yeah, no. No. Yeah, I think that's yours. But don't open it, baby, because we don't need it right now. These are Smart Cakes. These are good to bug out with. So if you need a little thing, they're very light. They're holistic. It's part of the keto diet thing. I have these. They were on at my Whole Food place. These are nice little comfortable piece. These are nice little comfortable things to have. This one does have eggs. The little one can't have it. So this one does have eggs. So if you have an egg aversion or you are a vegan, this isn't good for you, but it's good to have, okay? And I have several of these to have in my bug out. Oh, that cloth thing right there. No, video right there. As many of you know, I talk about this all the time. These I have carbon. These are carbon sacks. I put these around the house because of moisture and spores. You want to make sure you're having carbon sacks around the house. You can make it yourself. These absorb moisture and disallow from spores building up in your house. I have these all over the house. I live in Florida, and you know, in the hurricane, they had a lot of spore issues. So make sure that you are preparing for if there's no heat or no coolness in the house and you're in a tropical area, you may want to have these around the house to absorb moisture. Or if you're in an apartment and the air goes down, sometimes even in cooler weather, there's still moisture. You want to absorb a lot of the spores and it collects it and it's really good. So you can put them under your pillow, put them in your bedroom, put them in your car. These are good and they're very inexpensive to get on Amazon. You should be able to still get these. Let me have those. Red lentils. I have the other one in my bug out bag. Red lentils are wonderful. I have these, tons of these. The red lentils, you should have red lentils. Lentils are good. They're powerfully packed. They're nutriently packed. These are good for bugging out situations where you have a lot of staples. It's wonderful for soups. Lentil soups are good. They're soothing. They're wonderful. Make sure you have lentils. Okay, red lentils. Gosh, I have so much left. Oh, what's the matter? Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, hold on. I think I'm gonna have to break, family, because I've got to go cook for my own little ones. I know I've kind of gone here. I hope I'm getting most of it. This is just to give an idea of, I hope I was helpful. I'm gonna take this down. Obviously, you know this, but I hope what my shares were helpful. I hope it was very informative. These are ways that this is a true prepping video. This is what your staples in your house should look like. It should look like you're actually living well and healthy. If you want to make sure that you are out of vibration, make sure you're matching the vibration of someone who's healthy and thriving. Stay out of the realm of being, emergency mode. It's almost like fasting. It's almost like preparing to love yourself. Okay, so just make sure that you're staying high in vibration, staying out of arguments. Make sure you prepare your family for possibly quarantine without putting fear, because part of the reason why things impede people's immune system because they get very stressed out. Make sure you're getting a lot of rest. You're hydrating. Make sure your little ones are happy and thriving. Get them games that they can play with. Do you think, have little things that you incorporate in the family, because maybe electronics won't be something that you have, but you'll have a host of other things. Okay. So again, I hope it was helpful. I know I have so much more to show you, but mommy has to go and take care of her own family. So I hope you were able to take something from this. My reishi. I forgot to show you my reishi. This is I love this too. My turmeric ginger tea. I love this reishi. This is really good. Okay. I hope this was helpful. And, I want you to stay in positive mode and know that, we'll be here for the long haul. And, again, I'll have this video up on Patreon. So that'll have, I hope you took down notes and everything. And I did this for you guys. Okay. So be well. And, let me state this again really quick before I go. I bought this. What is this? Oh, I got this. I bought this, this is one of the lotions that I used to use. I used to have as my staple. I really feel it's disgusting, and I just have to state this. I used to buy Alba, this hand body lotion. I always keep this in my staples of storage. This used to be $11. This is now $40. I wanted to state this because I'm really disgusted, and hopefully somebody will watch who will write the company, because I will. This is now $40. I want to line-tify this. This is $45 for lotion. I think it's really sad and disgusting that something that started off as $11.99 has now skyrocketed, and now it makes me think that there's something in here that they don't want us to have. So I'm showing you this all to say that this lotion is now $45, and interesting enough, it must have something in it that deters whatever radiation. So can't stop, won't stop. There's a reason why they're making this so much money. Whenever I see that, I think there's something to that. So I just wanted to put out there, if you want to write Alba, I'm going to write Alba and tell them how disappointed I am that they would skyrocket something that we really appreciate, and they're making it highly unaffordable for the average person to have Really good lotion that's really good. So I do stock up on this, but I wanted to show this and also show and tell you how disgusting it is that they would charge so much money for that. All right, family. So, oh, my little one has a microphone. Oh, she has a microphone. Look at this. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is my little one's microphone. They got it for the holidays. Okay, everyone. So I want to thank everyone for joining me today. This is so cute. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today on this. This is cute. It's got trembles and everything. I like this. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, I like this. I got my little one's toys in here. So thank you, family, for joining today. Have an amazing day. And if you're going into quarantine, make it just as enjoyable while you're relaxing and waiting for the shift. So have a magnificent Sunday, and hopefully y'all will be joining me for our Aquatarian fast tomorrow, kicking off tomorrow. It should be a beautiful 30 days. I look forward to the twinning that is happening at the end of the month, and let's get on to this shift. All right, family. Talk to you later. Bye. I like this. Bye, everyone. Peace. Peace. So I can't even see. I can't even see this.